Hi and welcome. Why am I not? Why? Just All right. So, am I audible? Welcome in everyone to the Guilt Free Minds live session on depression and overthinking. Start putting your questions in while I change the screen over here. Ready? What are your questions when it comes to mental health? We'll wait for a while everyone joins in, and then we will start. So it'll be a bit of time, and I hope you all can be patient for that. No one has any questions with regards to mental health, depression. No one is overthinking. That's admirable. It's a really good thing if you don't have any overthinking issues. You have never been through a depressive episode or felt that you are sinking into depression. Hi, hello. Start asking. Let's go. No issues. What do you want me to refer to you as? That's the only question I have. Your government name or the other name? Also, guys, I will be conducting these live stream sessions at least once a week. Yeah, sure. At least once a week. So if you guys want others to be a part, or if you think that others have questions that they are afraid to go to a therapist for or want to ask anonymously, I feel YouTube is a great platform. You can change your username. No one needs to know your real identity. You don't have to put up a profile picture or anything, and you can be here and get your doubts resolved. And I think that matters more than anything. So share the link of the channel, ask others to subscribe so that I can be available when they need help with anything regarding mental health. Because overthinking encompasses almost every area of your life, whether it's relationships, whether it's career, a lost time, past trauma, grief. Overthinking is everywhere. We cannot just ignore it and lead our lives like, oh, we are absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with us. We all have our ups and downs. Better that we accept it than go through life, as a lie that everything's fine. So, Yash, waiting on your question. Why does my mind insist on replaying every problem at night even when I know it's ruining my sleep? And what does that say about how I handle stress during the day? It says that during the day, because your brain has other things weighing on it, the first tendency that you have is to push the thought at the back of your mind. You're like, I cannot think about this right now. I've got too much on my plate. I need to do this work. I need to do that work. I need to fix this. I need to fix that. During the day, our brains are crowded. During the day, we've got 10,000 different things going on through our heads, which is why if something happens that needs a replay or that our mind wants to focus on, during the day, it will naturally push it backwards. During the night, when you're not actively doing anything, when you're not actively engaging your brain somewhere, those thoughts come back. And like I always say, brain takes the easy way out. It's easy for it to go into negative. It's easy for it to be on a loop. It's easy for it to have you, concerned, worried thinking instead of having you unbothered, be positive, not think about the problem. Those are hard things. So the brain does not want to do that. And the moment the brain is free, which is basically when you go to sleep, it brings up everything that you don't want to think about during the day. It's not about handling the stress. This is a phenomenon that's very common with almost all of us. Some of us actively choose to not let our brains be blank at any point of the day because we are worried that it will think about those things. Some of us keep our brains engaged with other tasks even when we are trying to drift off to sleep, like what are my tasks for tomorrow? How am I going to plan tomorrow? What all tasks do I have? Okay, I have this, I need to remember all of these things. The brain's active. The brain is always active, brain never sleeps. So it's a choice whether you want to think about the tasks you have to do tomorrow or whether you want to let your brain think about the things that already happened during the day, which will have a negative impact. You can choose to decide what you want to think, but you cannot control that the brain will just stop thinking and it'll be easier to drift off to sleep. That does not work. It becomes easier to drift when your brain is thinking about something that's kind of meaningless, like a song or a scene from a movie is playing in your head. Those won't cause problems, right? Those are not stress factors for you. But when things that happen during the day, a difficult conversation with a parent or a friend said something to you or something happened at your workplace, those things have a tendency to play and go on loop much more compared to anything else. So when you know it's ruining your sleep, you need to put in some strategies so that your brain, while being active, is not thinking about the things you don't want it to think. So I need to make it a habit of focusing on what's important rather than focusing on the past. Exactly. Past has never helped anyone. Past, you can summarize the past within 5 points in a notebook. Basically, you only need the lessons from your past. You don't need those traumatic events replaying in your head all the time. That does not help. The lessons help. When people ask us, or when parents tell us, remember your past, remember what you're doing, remember the mistakes, they don't mean the mistakes. They mean the lessons learned from the mistakes. So if your past thought comes into your head, Instead of focusing on that past thought and letting your mind go into that overthinking spiral, think of the lessons that you picked up from there. And tell yourself, yes, I understand things may have gone wrong, someone may have said something. See, if it's you that was the problem, that you can fix. If it was someone else who caused the problem, them you can either talk to or you can let it be. If you can talk to, if you think there's a chance the person will understand and maybe that situation will not arise again, talk. But we also meet with such people with whom you can talk and you can, go and hit your head against a tree, and they will never understand because in their minds they are right, and they are kind of an inflexible attitude. They don't want to see your side because their side is perfect and they are perfect and they've never committed a mistake. In those cases, there's no point even thinking about it. The only thing you can do with such people is to put that thought or whatever is bothering you with regards to the conversation in a box, seal it in your mind. The moment that conversation creeps out again, seal it again. I know it's not a great strategy, but in some cases, you have no way of getting, it sorted. There's just no way of sorting. Like people who will never accept their mistakes, we've all seen such people. So in that case, the only option you have is to just push it back, push it back, push it back, so that it becomes a distant thought in your head and your brain automatically gets used to pushing it back the moment it comes on the surface. It is what it is. The brain is yours. You can't train that other person, but you can train your brain. So that's what we'll have to do. Not a question, but more like a confession. I've got unhealthy relationship with AI. Helps me to get some stuff out when I know I shouldn't, but damn, it's difficult when there's no one out. I agree. As long as you don't ask AI for help, unloading to AI, having the feeling that there's someone who's listening to you, that works. Just don't go to AI for suggestions. Someone to talk to, or when you know you can rely, but they're absolutely denying what you feel. Yeah, for validation, AI is perfect, but the only problem with AI is that it also validates. Yeah, I know that's a problem with you too. There is a word limit. The only problem with AI is that it also validates when your feelings should not be validated. So with AI, you cannot figure out whether you are in the right or you're in the wrong, even with regards to your own mental health. Sometimes venting is always good. The problem is not with venting. You vented, AI said, I understand. That's okay. Problem arises when AI starts saying, yes, you're right. You may be wrong. Like, you may not entirely be wrong, but there may be a different approach of showing you an other side of thing. AI will not do that. That would be a human approach. You can go and tell AI, this person did this person did that, this happened, this happened. Whatever you'll say, I will say, yes, I understand. Oh my God, it must be so frustrating for you. The feeling of frustration that you had in you, that increased after that AI told you, yes, it's frustrating. Instead of AI, when someone tells you that, yes, I understand, maybe what if next time this happens, maybe we'll take such an approach, or maybe you can take such an approach. Or you can come and tell me and vent it out and then release it and you'll be fine. That's still better. The problem with AI that I have noticed is it helps people overthink. That is my only problem with AI. Not really validation, but at least just listen me out. Yes, that I agree. For venting, you can absolutely use AI. As long as you understand where AI is promoting overthinking, there you have to learn to stop. That's the only time you need to put on the brakes. Mobile causing too much stress. I want to be free from it, and I thought of reading books, but each book costs more money. Ebooks again, I need to use mobile. What can I do? You can remove all the offending softwares from your mobile, make it clean. That's always an option. You can remove social media. If you cannot control yourself from going on social media, you can remove social media. That is one. Or you can download apps that will block social medias for you. There are many apps. If you download them, I haven't downloaded any such app because I don't usually go on social media at all. But there are some apps in which you can customize. Like, suppose you switch on the app for 2 hours. You've decided that for 2 hours you're not going to go on any social media. So you go to that app and you customize which aspects of your phone should that app allow you to use, like calling, maybe checking your messages, not WhatsApp, and maybe using the browser. And if you're reading an ebook, accessing that ebook app. That's it. You said that, you switch that on. It will not let you go on any site like Instagram, YouTube, anything for the next 2 hours if that is what your setting says. You just have to set it in the right manner. And then when you use it, you can access books on your phone without any problem, without the distraction. But you have to be true to yourself that you have launched the app. You have to get the app. You have to set it up. You have to actively use it. Why do I experience so many emotions at once? Sadness, happiness, frustration, until it starts affecting me mentally? And then what strategies can I use to handle them effectively in the moment? Yeah, there are app locks you can, but app locks you can still open. When you put an app blocker for those 2 hours, you can throw your phone against the wall, but it will not let you open any of the apps unless you go and delete that app itself. That is what I have heard. I've never used any of these. Humans are wired like that. This happens, multiple emotions happen because we are consuming too much in one go nowadays. Our brain is an overload of information all the time. Whether you are thinking about your problem or not, there are 10,000 things going on in your head as well. There's a lot going on in your subconscious. Previously, like during earlier times, when social media was less, we were exposed to less content. Don't reinstall. It's not about deleting and reinstalling. Deleting will only work when you have that control over yourself. If you don't have that control, nothing will ever work. So instead of deleting, time yourself. Stop using the phone itself. Get another phone, but then you will again install in that. Unless and until you have that motivation in your head that no, I'm not going to do this, it will not work. Even the apps I'm telling you, people delete the app itself and then all the other apps become free because this was the app that was blocking everything else. So once you use that app, you have to have your mental motivation in place as well that I have blocked this for 2 hours, no matter what happens in the world. I am not going to go check Instagram or Facebook or anything of that sort. Without a mental preparation, without your brain, because brain is key. If your brain wants, you can do anything. No one's actually sitting with a stick in their hands behind you, right? So you have to have that mental motivation that I have decided I will not go, and that means I will not go no matter what happens. Even if even if I have to check the news, even if a 7.5 Richter scale earthquake comes, I will not switch on Instagram. That is the level of motivation you need. Only then even the apps I am saying will work. Only then. I'm not asking you to delete everything. I'm just asking you to take 2 hours out of your day and do what you want to do, like read a book. 2 hours. If focusing for 2 hours is difficult, start with 25 minutes. Focus only for 25 minutes. Then you can do whatever. But 5 minutes back, come back to your task. Until that 2 hours is up, you need to keep coming back to your task. It's not going to be easy, but you're the only one who can rewire your own brain. No one else can do it for you. And Yash, the reason this is happening is because even if you're not watching social media right now, when you go to sleep, you have gone through social media during the day. You have watched news, you have talked to people, you've gone through I don't know how many different types of content on social media, depending on your personal algorithm. You see all of these things and it gets stored, not actively. Passively, you're consuming content all the time. We never stop consuming content because the moment you go on Instagram, there's a new content to consume. Everyone's making reels, everyone. Imagine how many uploads go on Instagram on a single day. You're consuming so much of content, your brain is always overstimulated. So the moment you go into the negative side, suppose you're feeling sad about something, all of that content that you've consumed and they've made a home in your head and all of the different feelings they cause, all of that also comes to the surface. And as a result, you should be feeling sad, but along with sadness, you're feeling frustrated, you're feeling empty, you're feeling overstimulated, you're feeling irritable, you're feeling depressed, all at the same time because of all the content you've been consuming day in and day out. I try to keep my phone out of reach when I'm working on something or getting some work done. That is also an option. One more thing, I have this heaviness in my chest that I'm not able to release it properly. That sounds like something like a talk therapy. Like you need a talk therapy, like you need to vent. Because usually, when you have a lot stored inside you for years, that sort of a feeling starts to develop. Or if you have a, mm, what's the word? If you have unresolved confrontations, like you want to tell something to someone, someone did something bad to you, or they said something they shouldn't have, but you could never confront them because of whatever. You have unresolved issues. That is what usually causes the heaviness. Yeah, venting to AI can help, or venting to a human can help if they understand. We all have unresolved confrontations. That is why I said if the person can understand, then talk to them. But if you know talking to that person would be like throwing your head against the wall and still not having an effect on the wall, then there's no point. Then you have to train yourself to understand that this person will never understand what I am going through. So thinking that I want my issues resolved with this person is wrong. Then you have to change your own thinking. That is what you have to do, because you have to train yourself that, see, thinking about this person is not going to eat anything, talking to this person is also not going to resolve the problem. So let's just maintain the peace in my head and in the environment and let it go. You'll have to keep doing this repeatedly. Explain to you how that person is not worth your mental energy. That's the thing. The walls are going to stay there. I feel like crying my eyes out, but I'm not able to do that. Yes, I understand. To cry your eyes out, the first thing you will need is privacy. To be yourself, a privacy is needed. Boundaries are needed. Boundaries are very important. You need an outlet for that. I used to be like that. Why crying is hard for me, but I really want to release my that emotion. Crying is hard for you because in India, everyone says that boys don't cry, girls cry. That's the problem here. And that is the only problem. Somehow, if you're a male, your emotions don't get validated. And if you're a female, you cry too much. You have too many emotions then. Neither of the genders are treated fairly when it comes to emotions or when it comes to mental health, but that is a problem we have, and we just need to go with it. I don't have space to be open. You can go to a park. Maybe you need to find another way to release it. Cook, make things you like, pour your energy out. See, the reason we start to feel like we need to cry and all is because we are not releasing our emotions. We don't have a way, we don't know how to let all of that anger and all of that pent up emotions that's been building in for years. There's no way out. So one thing you can do is journal. Instead, you can either use AI, which Frozen suggested. That's a good option if you are low on time. If you have time and if you really want to resolve things by yourself, then journal. And it does not matter what you write. The only thing that matters is how long you write. You need to write and you need to write and you need to write. Take 1 hour. At the end, you will feel exhausted, drained, and that feeling in that chest will go away. Because you finally found a place where you can put everything down. Put it, and no one's gonna ever see it. And one advice I would give to those who are planning to start journaling is never look back on your past entries. Lucky in that aspect, tears were blocked for a very long time. For me, it was so frustrating. I get it. There are that once I went walking and I was listening to some prayer and I started crying in the middle of the road. Middle of the road can actually be dangerous. That is a problem. I would advise you that you go to some place. You can even visit a mall for that matter. How does it matter if there are 10,000 people around you? We're still alone in our own heads, right? Go anywhere, but just don't do it while you're on the way. Reach, then do it. But journaling is a great option. And journaling is a way you can release your thoughts, your feelings every day. And if you are feeling a heaviness in your chest, then I suggest that you do this every day because you will need it. You will need to go on with it for a while for it to start feeling better. One day, one session, venting out once is not going to work. Last time I cried was when I literally unloaded in your stream because I didn't know what to do with so my stream is always available for it. If that makes you feel better, you can do it more often. Mention that you are venting, no one will interrupt, no one will interfere, and the only thing you will hear is that we understand. Everyone has got different cards to deal with in life. Everyone's got different problems. I don't know. I don't know want to talk about it here, but I'm done with it. Non-judgment is my middle name. Jokes apart, I really don't judge people. I just don't like doing it. A lot of the times, people have actually come and told me that, I'm doing this because of so and so, and I'm like, why are you telling me why you are doing it? And they're like, no, because I thought you would want to know why I'm doing this. I was like, I don't want to know. I didn't even think about why you're doing it. All I'm concerned with is if you're doing something that gives you peace or that makes you happy, good enough for me. Home environment. That's a huge topic in India. Trust me, Yash, you're not the only one. And you're definitely not alone when it comes to feeling suffocated in your own home and being with the parents you love and people you love. We all feel alone. We've all felt alone. We've all been there. We've all felt that now I just need to run away. Just need to find something to do and run away from here, which you did when you were in a hostel. Now you're back home. And hopefully, soon enough, you will find something, a great job, and you will have a chance to move out again. I tasted freedom for 2 years, and being here for 4 months, I actually hadn't been back to where I was. Damn it. Well, there are certain things, like I said, that's why I always emphasize on the fact if you can, I get that, I get that. Like, if you can talk to people and make them understand, go ahead, do that. A lot of the times when it comes to Indian households and when parents come together, they form a wall that children can just not penetrate. No matter how logical you are, no matter how, you know, how much sense you're making. To them, you're just not making sense because you're just supposed to follow what they tell you. Sometimes that happens. Sometimes they think that what they are saying is really right. Sometimes it is also the case that they've never been through what you are going through, so they don't understand. You know, put in your shoes. And in future, if it ever happens that they are put in the exact same shoes as you are in, like, as in the problem, they may understand, but then it'll be too late. So you have to take into account everything. If you cannot explain your problems to them, if you think they will not understand, then you need to train your brain and tell yourself it's not worth my mental energy. Put it down in the journal, put everything down in the journal. Write, because why I'm asking you to write instead of talk to an AI is because writing is therapeutic. When you're moving a body part, when you're moving a body part and you're writing, it's a way for all that energy to flow out. When you're talking to an AI, first thing in your mind, you know that that's an AI that's going to validate everything you say. It's not like talking to a human where you can get a response that, yeah, maybe, you should have handled this a little better. Maybe this is a gray area, or maybe your parents were definitely wrong in this. And there's no one else who will share their experience with you. With AI, it's a very one sided conversation. That is why I'm asking you to write, because writing in a manner you will be releasing that energy. AI is good, but when there's a lot, I believe you should write. Because a lot of the times I have personally experienced this, that with people, like I don't know how to solve a problem. There's a problem, I don't know how to find the solution. And I started writing, and by the time I was on the 10th line or the 20th line, the solution automatically came to me. I'm writing like, this is a problem, I don't know what to do with it, I just don't understand, I'm so frustrated. Maybe I think I can do this and maybe I can do that, and then 4 lines later I realized I worked out the solution. But that's how my brain works. And this has happened in the case of a lot of people. You can give prompt to AI to validate and just listen. I do that sometimes. Yeah, you can do that. But if you really need a solution, for venting, AI is perfect. If you're looking for a solution, or if you want to release that pent up energy that's like a ball of a boulder in your heart, that's like sitting on your heart, feels like a mountain inside, you need to write, because you need a physical way to release that energy. I used to paint. A lot of people do that. I paint, I play my instruments, I play with the kids. I've got lots of options apart from journaling. But playing with the kids doesn't work for me because I don't want to stress them out if I am stressed, because they will sense it and then they will react to that stress of mine. So I try to not play with the kids if I'm super stressed like that. If I am stressed, what I will do is I will start painting. Quiet, alone. You can hear there's no noise in my room despite of all three kids being here. So I'll paint. Painting is therapeutic because, again, you're lost in your own thoughts. You don't really know where your pen is going, but it's a process. That is why there's a thing called as art therapy. If you go to Guilt Free Mind, you will find at least 20 to 25 articles on how art therapy has helped people with PTSD, with pain, those who've had surgery, like music therapy. Art therapy also works. Sand therapy also works. It's all about the release and how you are releasing it. If you like writing, if you think you can make yourself sit down for 10 minutes and write, or if you're worried about how much you'll write and how much time will pass, then I suggest just put on a timer, then start writing. I used to talk about my life with one person, my best friend. He was like a safe space to share. Okay, what happened? I've been swirling it for like 4 times. I forgot to drink. I did put in sugar. Where did it go? Whatever. So, what happened to that friend? All right. So, you guys are not talking, or you guys are not talking that much anymore. Busy. I get it. But see, your journal will never be busy for you. Your journal is always there whenever you need it, be it night, be it day. You can do it in a crowded room. What I would suggest for you, and I want you to do this, okay? Before you sleep, if you have the time, 10 minutes. Take 10 minutes out, put a timer on your phone. You said no, that when you go to sleep, all the thoughts are swirling in your head. Those thoughts, I want you to put them down. Put them down in your diary or whichever notebook, whatever place you feel is right. Just put them down. That way, you'll be able to sleep better. First thing. Second thing I want you to do is have that diary with you since you're at home most of the time right now. Have that diary with you all throughout the day. Or if you want, you can also use your phone app. You can just type it out. It's your choice how you want to do it. But whenever a thought strikes, like something's bothering you, something like, just suddenly appeared at the forefront of your head, oh, this happened. Suddenly it happens. No, suddenly we think about things that we didn't even know we were thinking about. Write that down. Something bothers you in the day, write that down. Your parents say something you didn't like, write that down. Just keep it with you, write it down. Like 2 minutes, take 2 minutes out. 2 minutes, everyone can take 2 minutes break. No one will even tell you what are you doing, how you're wasting time, and all. No one's going to say anything. Take those 2 minutes and write it. Keep writing throughout the day. Do this for 3 to 4 days. You will notice that slowly, slowly, the things that were hidden in your subconscious for all this while, will start to come up to the surface. Once you start releasing what's on the surface, do that for 2 3 days, 2 3 days later, and that 10 minutes of writing before sleeping, that I want you to do every day. If you have a dream, then once you wake up, write down the dream. Bad, good, worse, just write it down. And never revisit your entries. Whatever you've written to yesterday, never go back and revisit it. Because if you revisit it, the emotions that you had at that point of time when you were writing that will again come up to the surface. And that is not worth it. So don't revisit at all. Just write. So, see, there's no fear for you that you will have to revisit those emotions, because once they're out there, stored in the notebook, you don't have to look at it again. Whatever new emotions are coming, write those down. I feel frustrated because this has happened. I don't know why this thought came into my head, but it just came in like so and so, and I thought about this and it linked to this, whatever it is, just write it down. Do this for a week, and next week, Saturday, yeah, that is okay. You were able to laugh about it, that's okay. But there's a reason I suggest to not go through your journals, because a lot of the times we write a lot of painful stuffs. We write a lot of things that we want really out of us, and we have no way to go. So there are a lot of negative thoughts when you're writing. There is also a lot of frustration when you're writing. You may say things about people and start feeling a different way, in future. So when you revisit, it can bring up emotions of guilt. Why was I thinking like this about this person, and this person may not have turned out to be like that, or whatever. The issues got resolved and all. Later on, you're sitting and revisiting your own journal, and then you're like, oh my god, I shouldn't have thought like this. You start berating yourself. If it was something that got resolved, you can laugh about it, great. A lot of the times that does not happen. So just an advice to never go back. Not an advice, actually, that's an instruction. Never go back and revisit. And for now, we just need to focus on getting all that heaviness out of your chest. So just write, write, write every day. Every moment a thought comes up, you feel that it's irritating you by even this much, write it down. Write it down, write it down, write it down. Do this for 3 4 days. Then you can tell me on Twitch as well how you're doing. Next week, when I schedule the next stream, we will come and we will regroup on it. We will discuss how was it, what you felt when you wrote it, how you felt afterwards. Because, see, if you write a thought right now, it may not make much of a difference to your emotions and your cognitive ability. You will only start to see the difference when you do the same thing over and over again for 4 to 5 days. That is why I'm saying in a week we will discuss. In a week, you will have a much clearer picture of whether things are working out for you or not, what you did, what you feel that you should tweak. Because, like I say, mental health is not a one size fits all thing. What may work for me may or may not work for you. So we have to try out. I can come up with solutions. You have to implement them, and then you have to come back to me and tell me if it's working for you, if it's not working for you, what is not working for you, and then I'll tailor it further to your needs. One more thing, I should check myself for ADHD. Consult a doctor about this. Yep. If you think you have ADHD, there are a few online tests that you can take to save up on your time. You can probably take a couple of tests. If the results come positive for that, then definitely go to a doctor. The problem with ADHD is that because we are so stimulated nowadays, almost everyone once in their life thinks they have ADHD. That is a problem that we are facing because of the constant content consumption. This is so filled that in lightning, in a manner of lightning, in a lightning effect, we may move from one topic to the other that is completely unrelated, and then we'd be like, why am I thinking about this now? I was thinking about that. Maybe I have ADHD. The response was paid. Okay, what did the results say? The results said that you have ADHD. Are those online tests good? I used to take them and diagnose with so many. I am saying that is why I said don't take one. I said take two or three. And take it from trusted sources like NIMH, National Institute of Mental Health. If they have a test, I would trust them. Go for that test. Do it. And then, whatever the results come, if you feel that you have ADHD or if you are on a spectrum of anything, Get it diagnosed from a psychiatrist or psychologist. Do not self diagnose, please. Yeah, that happens. That's what I was thinking about. National Alliance Mental Health Institute. NAMI should have ADHD test. I'll just check. Mental Health America. No, NAMI does not have it. I haven't put up an ADHD test in my site. Helpline. Nope. There's nothing pseudo ADHD most of the people. Yes. It's not even pseudo ADHD. It's just absent mindedness. And that absent mindedness comes from where? Trauma. Trauma comes from where? Family. We live with our parents, it's such a good culture, is sometimes not so good because depending on the personal experience. But when that happens, love lost, girlfriend broke up, the traumas are of different kinds. Parents said something, parents did something, parents sent you somewhere, whatever. Someone said something. We are so overloaded with all of that things that when we go absent minded, we start thinking we have ADHD. It might just be absent mindedness. If you truly, truly, truly have ADHD, a thing that would take you normally 5 minutes, it would always take you around 2 hours to complete. You'd never be able to finish any task you start. If you ask me, I personally do not think that you have ADHD. When we talk, you're focused on the conversations. You don't fly away to a different conversation. You don't suddenly stop responding. You don't give up on a discussion completely and switch to another different mode entirely. You're not that absent minded, as far as I can say. Trauma, grief, part and parcel of everyone's life. So that is why I said at some point everyone feels that they have ADHD. But it could just be, is it absent mindedness? These things I need you to focus on now. Is it absent mindedness? If you are too much occupied, you will be absent minded. Your brain will work on some other planet, you will be working on some other planet, and then suddenly when you realize, oh my god, what am I doing? That can happen. I just feel that it's absent mindedness, which is the result of your family issues. Family issues will not be the right word exactly, which is the result of lack of boundaries. Because lack of boundaries is the one thing that leads to family issues, because everyone's in everyone's business. And it feels like I'm not even getting enough mental space to survive here, because people are constantly, around you, and then you've got neighbors and all. It just adds to the stress. People say that we should be neighborly. I am not neighborly because of that reason. It just adds to the stress. So you just need to uh, do some choices. That's all. And it'll all be okay. It's not something that cannot be worked on. You can definitely work on it. I believe you can do it by yourself if you just follow the instructions and if you keep to it. That's the thing. You just need to keep to it. Giving up because in 2 days you didn't see a result, that is not an option. If you start something, you need to do it at least for 7 days. You need to revisit it with me so that we can work out whatever kinks you have. We can smoothen them out. Again, try it for 7 days. Again, see how it's working. All of that. And definitely, definitely, definitely have a planner. A planner is a life changing thing. It removes a lot of your cognitive load. You don't have to think every day, what do I have to do today? Family's enough to get in your business every damn time. No need for me. True. So this is a planner that I am using. This is the one I've made myself. So I've got a section for date and day, like you can see. And then like here I have study tasks. Here I have my blogs. Since I made it as per me. So there's a section for each of my blogs. Then here I've got a daily checklist. I've got the home task. I've got kids task. I've got every task over here. A section for every task, so that I don't have to get up and think in the morning what all tasks I have. Like today, when I am completing my task, as in whenever I do whatever I do for guilt free mind, I will decide on tomorrow's task right now itself because it's easy that way, right? I'm already working on the blog. I know what I have to do tomorrow. So I'll just write it down for tomorrow. So see, this is today Saturday. Look at this one. This is Saturday, right? And my Sunday region is already filled for guilt free mind and for the happy purpose because these are the tasks I have finished. So I'm preparing tomorrow's also simultaneously while I'm doing today. A lot of people will tell you that do it at night and prepare it before you sleep. I would suggest that do it while you're working. It's easier that way. Because I guess somewhere there are too many expectations to be good in career, study, and being an idle guy from everyone in the family. I'd suggest don't focus on those expectations because those people who have to find something negative in you, they will always find something negative in you because that's their job. They'll never be happy with who you are, so there's no point, going after their expectations. Go after your own expectations. What do you want from yourself? So what do you want from yourself? Decide on that, work on that, because that is what is going to get you through. Nothing else is, ever. Hi, welcome. How's it going? Indian families, yes, you need to be their perfect child at the age of. Well, I have been through exactly the same thing. I was the perfect kid. I still am the perfect kid, which is funny, but once you've made the aura, you've made the aura kind of thing. What was I about to write? Yes. Just need to find out the link for this one so I can share it. It's been ages. Yes, I am currently doing 9 hours of live streams on. That's better. 9 hours, 9 hours of co-working live stream, which is why I haven't been able to do this mental health live streams a whole lot. That is why I'm here today. I'll try to do it again the next week. Like same time, same place type of situation. And if you guys like the vibe, please don't forget to hit the like button, the subscribe button, folks. But one thing I need to tell you, focus on the expectations you have from yourself. Others' expectations, keep it on the side. College exams start on Monday. I gotta study for it, but I played games all day. Well, you did something that your mind likes. You can now focus on your studying. I am hoping that your brain would be fresh. My hair has always been colored. Unless and until you're seeing me after 3.5 years, that would be different, but my hair was colored before as well. The color ran down, hair grew long. I got the roots done. Again, they're coming down, as always. Yeah, so if you're here after 3.5 years, yeah, then you could say I've cut my hair. I got diagnosed as rheumatoid arthritis, so at least I have a diagnosis now. It's bad, but managing. How are you? And how's the prep for Monday, or should I not ask about that? I head back to studying now. All the best. Yash, keep in mind, the first thing I need you to do is stop focusing on expectations of everyone else. You'll never be enough. I could just tell you right now itself, you'll never be enough. For those people who expect too much from you, you'll never be enough. And for those people who are not ready to see you for who you are, they don't matter. One day, when you're successful, you will be the ideal person in everyone's life, in everyone's eyes. They will give you examples and they will tell others, be like him, look at him, how much he's earning, he's at such a good post, and etc., 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 like that. So instead of being the ideal person right now, when you're making money, making good money, you automatically become ideal in everyone's life, in everyone's eyes. Don't focus on that right now. Focus on being ideal for you. Focus on the traits you want in yourself because this is the time to shape yourself. Focus on your career, focus on your needs, not on others. Teacher send upon topics, so I'll start study them later. All the best. You got this. By the way, I will be streaming on Twitch for a little while longer, till 8:30 or so. So if you want, you can join in there. One thing, money is everything, which I got that. Of course, this is India. It does not matter how big a scientist you are, it does not matter how much of a brain you have compared to Einstein. The only thing that matters is you need to be able to make money. Otherwise, what good is it? You're having so much of brains. Hi, welcome in. How's it going? So, I will be conducting the mental health discussion next week again on Saturday. If you guys like this type of content, if you guys have things to talk about, please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and I'd prefer that you share the live stream links with others because we discuss a lot of things that a lot of people are facing but are afraid to actually talk about it. The good thing about YouTube is that you can be anonymous. You can put up any username, no one will ever have to know what you're actually, your exact details, and you can still come and discuss your problems in a completely non-judgmental platform. I went through stuff, I experienced a lot of stuff, but I passed the point of getting pressured by someone or someone's expectations. That is good. That is what most of us need to do, but it's difficult. It is difficult when you are with your family, it is difficult when people are hounding you day and night, but that is something that can be worked on, that can be developed, and that is what I would be urging you all to do. Focus on your personal expectations, not on the society or family expectations. Makes sense. It's a phase of life. I think it'll pass sooner than you think. Well, this is for others to say, and the person who is actually going through it, it's very difficult for them during that time. But you can at least start reframing your thoughts so that that time reduces. Go on, Yash. No worries. Have a good walk. It's not. It's not that difficult to rewire your brain. The only thing that you need to be ready to do is to get into constant fights with yourself. Because your brain will always find it easier to go towards the negative than to make itself go towards the positive. If someone's climbing a mountain, your brain will always say, what if that person falls? It will never say, how will the view be when I get on the top? Or how will the view be when that person gets on the top? The first thing that will pop up in your head will be, what if that person falls? See anything. See any scary video or any scary animal running after a human or anything that's a little bit scary. You won't think that when the person survives, oh my god, that adrenaline rush is going to be so good. That's never going to come. What will come actually is, oh my god, what if that person gets eaten? What if the car drives over that person? What if the person falls? All will be negative because our brains are wired that way, to see fear and to anticipate dangers in every situation, even if you are not in that. My best friend feels the worst. I guess she decided to leave me, but I realized how much she meant to me. Afterwards, yet I tried to go back again. She told me clearly she never gonna let me. Sometimes we don't realize, but we do a lot of damage. I can only say that I hope you've realized how much to go, like till what limit you should go, and till what limit and what limits you shouldn't be crossing. Because yes, there are limits in everyone's life, and no matter how close you are to that person, sometimes when that limit is crossed or when a trust is broken, like that person trusted you to maybe understand, I don't know what the situation is, so I cannot officially comment on it, but there are boundaries in every relationship, boundaries and lines that should not be crossed. And sometimes unintentionally we do it, sometimes we do it thinking that we are doing it for the good of the other person. We need to always test the waters, see, figure out if that other person is ready for something more or not. Sometimes they are not. Sometimes people who are going through things are feeling fairly fragile themselves. And then if we go on hammering things into them, or we go on telling them, no, you did this wrong, you should have done it like this, and this would be better, and this is going to make you better, you just follow my instructions. Sometimes if we try to hammer things in them, even though we are doing it for their good, they're not in a position to accept or take it in them. And that can sour relationships, even if that was not our intention. Sometimes people do good things, but they are just doing it at the wrong time. Hi, welcome in. How's it going? I didn't think you'd make it. Well, you are 2 minutes before ending time. Boundaries are needed everywhere, whether it's between a parent and a child, between siblings, between friends, between two people who are in a loving relationship. Boundaries are needed everywhere. Because boundaries are something once you cross them, you can't really go back. That is the problem with boundaries. So if you need to poke and prod a person, do it gently. Find out where their limit is and never cross it. Well, I don't know what to say. I did tell you that it will be starting at 6 p.m. I started at 6 p.m. I guess you were busy somewhere. Okay, so it's around 7 p.m. and I should get back to the Twitch stream now because I gotta finish my coffee. I've drank like this much of it. And then I need to get back to the rest of the tasks I have for the day. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming here. Rohan, if you have a specific question, I'd suggest ask now so that I can give you a quick response before I leave. Because I'd feel bad that you made it, but you couldn't even ask the question. So do it. Next live stream, I will be conducting next week, same time, 6 p.m. Saturday. Because it'll be weekend, so most of you should be available, I hope. You're most welcome. Okay, if there are no questions, then I guess I'll take my leave. Gotta get back to my Happy Puppers blog. No question, I will listen to your session first. Sure. You can do that. The session will be available in 2 to 3 hours once YouTube finishes processing. Then it'll be available. You can go through it and you can ask me whatever questions you have. That works as well. Thank you for being understanding. All right, guys. Thank you so much for being here. And please, please, please share the channel link with your friends so that they know where to tune in when the sessions are live. Like I said, YouTube, you can remain anonymous. You can still ask your questions. You can still get your problems sorted out, at least a little bit, if not a whole lot. I feel that even an inch of help is better than getting no help at all. And we are all struggling in our own heads. We don't have to do it alone when help is available. So share this. If you like the vibe here, please like the video. Please share the channel with your friends. And I will see you guys in the next week. Bye bye.